Previously on Land of the Free.
We are going to run the country. What? Until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela.
Yeah.
And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland.
Good day, good people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well with you all. Now, some of you may know that last week I did a video about the U.S. strike on Venezuela in which Nicolas Maduro was captured, and President Trump stated that the U.S. would be receiving anywhere between 30 and 50 million barrels of crude oil. Well, this week, President Trump posted on social media that he is now the acting president of Venezuela. Now, while most of us stateside agreed that Maduro being out is a good thing, we are somewhat divided and or split on the process in which it took place. With that being said, let's take a look at how some of the international media has been reporting on the acting president news.
Big news coming in, and this is in regard to Donald Trump, who has declared himself as a president of Venezuela. He has posted an image of himself, calling himself the acting president of the country. Now, the US president posting that image of himself, saying that he's the acting president of Venezuela. Arjun joining us. Arjun, this is absolutely after saying that the United States is, in charge of Venezuela and is looking after Venezuela. Now he has called himself the acting president. This is absolutely bizarre.
Well, that's absolutely true. In fact, Trump has shared this image from his Truth Social account, which claims that he, quote unquote, is the acting president of Venezuela, Divya. And remember, this comes at the back of Trump also single-handedly announcing that Venezuela has decided to, in fact, chef up to 50 million barrels of oil with the US, which will be in turn selling these barrels of oil at market price to the countries and nations it so deemed fit. And this is not the first bizarre statement, as you put it, which came from Trump. It's the freshest one in a slew of bizarre statements. The last one, in fact, being that all the oil revenues and the money coming in from Venezuela will be handled by Donald Trump himself personally. Now, we also just saw last week Donald Trump with the board of US oil giants, the executive board of them. But we also know that a lot of hurdles still remain in getting that oil from Venezuela, that crude oil that Trump intends to get and sell to countries around the world. Back to you, Divya.
After hinting at Marco Rubio to become the president of Cuba, to Trump calling himself the acting president of Venezuela. Thank you so much, Arjun, for getting us those details.
That clip was from NDTV, which is New Delhi TV out of India. Note how they said quote unquote when using the term acting president. And how many times did they use the word bizarre? I think it was at least 3 times. They made sure to highlight how we were just going to sell Venezuelan oil, and they threw in a little dig at little Marco about becoming the president of Cuba. Now, let's check out another clip from another Indian news outlet, Hinduism Times. They're going to focus on the actual elected president of Venezuela, sovereignty, and other disapproving nations. Let's check it out.
Venezuela's Vice President, Delcy Rodriguez, was swiftly sworn in as interim president under the nation's constitutional framework following Nicolas Maduro's capture by U.S. forces, marking a pivotal moment in Venezuelan political history. Upon taking office, Rodriguez immediately rejected Washington's assertions of authority over Venezuelan governance and issued an urgent demand for the unconditional release of President Maduro. Meanwhile, Donald Trump publicly declared that the United States intended to run Venezuela on a temporary basis, claiming it was necessary to ensure a stable and controlled political transition. He also floated proposals for U.S. oversight of Venezuela's vital oil exports during this interim period, framing the idea as a strategy to prevent corruption and stabilize the country's collapsing economy. Trump's statements quickly reignited a fierce global debate over America's respect for national sovereignty and adherence to international law, echoing historic concerns about foreign intervention. In response, several major powers, including China, Russia, and Spain, issued strong condemnations, calling the US operation a clear breach of international norms and the sovereignty of a foreign state.
Why do we care how international media covers American activity, especially on a channel that focuses on economic issues? Well, it's because everything has a price. What are we actually paying for this operation in terms of political capital? For decades, America has been able to rally the world in whatever causes we deemed necessary. Will that still be the case going forward when our image is changing from deliverers of freedom into pillaging bullies? Good people, let me know what you all think. Is the potential economic boost from confiscated Venezuelan oil worth the international capital spent? Engage and let me know. Until next time, peace and stay informed.